Curie became the first woman to receive a PhD from a French university, as well as the first woman to be employed as a professor at the University of Paris. Not only that, she was also the first woman to win the Nobel Prize, but also the first person ever to win the award twice and for achievements in two distinct scientific fields. And Russia ruled Poland on November 7, 1867. In Poland under the Tsar of Russia, women were not allowed to attend the universities. Very few places in Europe allowed women to study science, and one of the only places Marie could was in Paris. Her family was very poor and couldn't afford to send her to Paris. With their sights set on Western Europe, Curie and her sister Bronya made a pact. Marie would work as a governess to help pay for Bronya's medical studies in Paris. As soon as Bronya was trained and began to earn money, she would help cover the cost of Marie's university training. Paris in the 1890s was like no place on earth, and Marie had been waiting for this opportunity all her life. At the laboratories of Louis Pasteur, scientists were conquering diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries. Paris was the hub of intellectual, artistic, technological capital of the world. Marie enrolled Paris's preeminent university, the Sorbonne, where she could study under the leading lights of French science. One of them was Gabriel Lippmann. These were exciting people with exciting lives. It was like a new world for Marie. She graduated first in her class and with Professor Lippmann's help received a grant to do research on magnetism. In 1891, she joined her older sister Bronya in Paris. They made a pact to help each other finish degrees. Despite not being great at French and with no formal training in the sciences, she enrolled at the University of Paris, one of the best universities in the world, and earned a degree with a distinction in physics in 1893 and a second in mathematics in 1894. Marie was broke and would even faint out of hunger. She tutored all night after her own classes and she was barely keeping up. After her first degree, she was hired to study the relationship between magnetism and steel for the Society for the Encouragement of National Industry. She needed a place to work, and in her search for a lab, she met Pierre Curie, who taught at the School of Physics and Chemistry. They both fell in love and later ended up winning the Nobel Prize together as husband and wife along with Becquerel in 1903. On a summer break, Marie returned to Poland and went up for a job at the prestigious Jagiellonian University of Krakow. But the university refused to give her the job, referring that they would never grant a professorship to a woman, no matter how brilliant. So Marie returned to Paris and started a PhD. She also made Pierre finish his own PhD, and so he was promoted. In 1895, they both got married. Marie found about Röntgen's and Becquerel's discoveries and, being trained in the study of electromagnetism, formulated an experiment. She used a sensitive electrometer which measured electric charge and was developed by Pierre years earlier to test how ray-producing uranium affected electromagnetic fields. She found out that uranium gave off rays that made the very air conduct electricity. The work also showed that the only thing that mattered in terms of this effect was that how much uranium was present. The uranium did not have to interact with anything in order to give off energy and change electromagnetic fields. Marie created for the first time a theory of radioactivity, which was that in some substances, atoms themselves must be breaking down slowly, releasing energy. This theory became foundational for modern physics. Radioactive decay clearly violated the immutability of atoms, so atoms could be split. All her experiments were carried out in an unventilated room, unaware of the dangers of handling radioactive substances. In 1898, she showed that thorium is radioactive. Also, in 1898, Marie and Pierre discovered the element polonium, naming it after her beloved and oppressed homeland. In that same year, she isolated the radioactive element radium out of the uranium ore. She developed techniques for isolating radioactive isotopes or forms of the same element with different properties, which we now know are due to the different amounts of neutrons. Marie Curie kept a sample at home next to her bed as a nightlight. Diligent researchers, the Curies, spend nearly every day in the confines of their improvised laboratory with various radioactive materials strewn about their workspaces. After regularly handling radium samples, both were said to have had developed unsteady hands as well as cracked and scarred fingers. The life of Pierre was tragically cut short in 1906. At the time of his death, he was suffering from constant pain and fatigue. Marie too complained of similar symptoms until succumbing to advanced leukemia in 1934. At no point did either consider the possibility that their very discovery was the cause of their pain and their eventual death. In fact, all the couple's lab notes and many of their personal belongings are still so radioactive today that they cannot safely be viewed or studied. Today, more than 100 years after the Curie's discovery of radium, even the public is kept well aware of the potential dangers associated with the exposure of human body to radioactive elements.
If you like this video, be sure to like, share and subscribe to our channel.